Hello, final video on my getting your French driving license as a non-French speaking, non-French person. So I've talked you through my context and doing the written test and learning to drive. I've talked you through my test experiences and next steps is this video. So I got my results the next morning within less than 24 hours of me actually doing the test. I did my test at 10 a.m. I got the results at 9 a.m. the next day on a Saturday. And I got an email from my driving school with two things. So one was like a summary of all of my payments, basically a final recap invoice. And the other was a sort of next steps, what you need to do. So this was sent to me from my driving instructor from my driving school. On the actual website where you get your results, you need to download a certificate. It's a digital certificate that basically confirms that you've passed your test, and that's what you drive with for the next 4 months. So that certificate is valid for 4 months, and in that time, in those 4 months, you need to process it to actually get the physical driving license card. So the physical driving license card, it's done via the ANTS portal, which is the same portal that you would have used to access and to create your NEPH number. So you need to provide proof of address, proof of ID, a new e-photo. So again, you need to go back to the supermarket, get in the photo booth, get an e-photo, and then you have to provide the certificate as well as part of your dossier. Now you need to wait 15 days, so about 3 weeks between the day that you get your test result and when you actually start the process on the ANTS website, because apparently it takes some time for the Perfect Tours database to get up to date, to sync up. And then once you've submitted your dossier, you need to print and keep the receipt that you've printed, that you've submitted your dossier, and keep that with you in the event that it takes longer than expected. Normally, it takes about 3 weeks, apparently, for the actual driver's license to be created and posted to you. It'll be posted to your home address or to the address that you provide. But always, I mean, I've learned one thing in France is like print receipts of everything. Keep it on your phone, on a piece of paper. Just have things because you never know when you need to whip out some sort of document. And then insurance was really straightforward. I basically just sent my insurance provider a copy of the certificate saying, "Hey, add me on. I'm now an additional driver on this car." There was no change to the premium, though I'm an older driver, and I know that the age of the driver sometimes has an impact on how much of a premium is paid. Um, we're looking to buy a secondhand car, like a second car, a secondhand car, so that my name will also be on that car's carte grise, the immatriculation, the sort of registry papers, so that each of us, my partner and I, each of us have our name as the main owner on each car, and basically now we get to drive off into the glorious French sunsets in the French countryside. Um, in terms of my biggest takeaways, it's really taking the time to reflect on yourself and what you need to improve on and talking about it with your instructor, talking about it honestly with yourself and with maybe another person who might join you for a drive. Um, Let's do as many practice tests as you can under test conditions. Practice using sat nav. Practice following signs. For my test, you have an independent driving section, and I think my instructor is a bit maybe old school. So we didn't use a sat nav, but he just sort of said, follow the sign to X city. So it was great to be able to have had practiced that. And then, yeah, I mean, after each lesson, maybe just do a quick sort of bilan, a quick assessment. What went well? What do you want to improve on for next week? Really remembering what you did well, because it's so important. Sometimes we get so, I know I do, I get so bogged in on what's not going well, but it's really important to remember actually some things are going really well. Some things are improving. I am seeing changes. I am noticing changes and finding out what areas you need to boost your confidence in. So for me, it was roundabouts and motorways. Roundabouts because I would just get really nervous around roundabouts, and motorways I'd never done one before, so I really wanted to gain confidence there. And I know that for a lot of people, it's sort of entering into a motorway and coming out of the motorway is really anxiety inducing. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get ahead of that. Um, so I did that. I worked with my instructor and I worked with my partner, and we really like zoomed focused in on those. Another maybe helpful thing is just to find what anxiety management works for you, right? If you are like me, and I think like a lot of people who get quite anxious about a test, find what kind of anxiety management works for you. Is it hypnosis? Is it affirmations? Is it visualizations? Is it grounding exercise? In France, they're big on sophrologue, sort of, which is a combination of all of it. Like find what you need and give it to yourself, because going through this process is really a gift to you. Getting your license, it's a gift to you, and you deserve to set yourself up for success. And then finally, just because you obviously, as a learner driver, you have it marked on your car, just let people overtake you. You're going the speed limit, you're doing the right thing. Let them honk, let them overtake you. If you've made a mistake, okay, that's actually really useful information. You probably won't make that mistake again because you're doing that sort of evaluation constantly with yourself. And then, just let them and you yourself do what's in your power to move through this process smoothly. Keep learning, keep an open mind, and yeah, and enjoy it. Actually, see, there is some really positive things to learning how to drive in France. Like my life has changed now because I can just get in our car and go if I need to, rather than having to wait for my partner to drive me around. I can't, where we live, it's really remote, so I can't do anything unless I have a car or unless I'm willing to spend 20 minutes on a bike ride when it's 2 degrees outside. Not for me. Anyway, I hope some of you out there have found this video helpful. Um, there's some really, really good resources. I've mentioned a couple on this video series already. One really good one was the AS de la Route. It's a video chain here with this guy, Samba. He's lovely. And he's created an online digital course called Boost Permis. I think it's like €9 a month, so it's not super expensive, but really, really comprehensive, sit down, really clear explanations that, again, as a non-native French speaker, I was able to follow. He's really clear. He does lots of sample routes. I think he's based in Limoges. So he does lots of sample tests, videos with students, learner students. Like, would really recommend le AS de la route, AS, the AS of the route. So, c'est tout, hein? I think that's all she wrote. Happy driving. Good luck. And yeah, again, if there's any questions or things that I might be able to help clarify, I'm happy to do so. Take good care, all.